Okay.
So are you recording? Okay, so Tiffany called me this weekend. And Tiffany, I want you to share the story about Drew.
Okay, so Drew is my 17-year-old. He does want to come wave. You gonna come wave, buddy? So, because a lot of this spurs from, I think my success of the past couple months has been with him. So come here, buddy. Come say hi.
Hey.
So what happened is every month we get Nancy Joe's newsletter, right? And it has the top 50 consultants. I guess it's through your first 3 lines on there. And so we're on our way home from softball. I guess it was been 10 days, 2 weeks now since the last one came out. And I'm looking at the numbers. I knew I had a good month in March, and I count how many names down I am, and I'm in the back seat. So Drew and his girlfriend are in the front seat because we have multiple kids in the car. And he says, I said, I'm number 12 on Nancy Joe's team. And, you know, Jim still calls Nancy Joe Najotis, which means Nancy Joe, United States of America, like it's POTUS, but Najotis. So he's like, you were 12th in Najotis's team? I was like, yeah. And Drew's like, why weren't you in the top 10? Just as flat. And I was like, Drew, there are 9,000 consultants in Nancy Joe's organization. And he was like, I guess you should try harder. And I was like, wow. So this was in the middle of April already, right? So in the month of March, I keep a paper calendar as well. As much as techie as I am, I love my paper calendar. I make it myself. I take it to Office Max. I print it. I actually only printed 4 months this year. And then I was like, wanted to make changes to print the last 8 months of the year. So when I got to April, I was looking at how many shows I had booked. And I was like, you know what? I've been writing consistently like 6,000. Okay. I want to hit elite seller. So I was like 6,000 and then the next month I wrote 7,200. And then in the month of March, I wrote 8,000 and I crossed it out because my personal best that I hit in March was 14,410. Okay. Oh. So I said, I think my April is going to be bigger. I think I have more shows per week. So I'm going to write down 15,000. And every Wednesday morning at 7 a.m, I meet with my mastermind group that we've been meeting now a year and a half, almost maybe 2 years. And I told them, I'm like, guys, I'm writing this number down. You are going to hold my feet to the fire because every week we say, okay, how are you doing on bookings? How are you doing on sales? How are you doing on recruiting? How's your team doing? And so then the numbers, everything started coming in and, and I actually wrote down on my Post-it note for you guys where my shows were. Okay, so up here in my little Post-it note, I had 7 shows under $500. Okay, so I don't want you to think I'm doing like $1,000 shows all the time. I had a 600, a 700, 3 1,100, 2 1,500, 2 1,700, a 2,000. And then I had a random out of the blue friend who wanted to order cookware for a shower, $300 just catalog show. And I did a shared rewards party that ran at the last week of March. And I strategically made it so it submitted April 7th or 8th. So that was $3,000. So when it was all said and done, I was looking at my numbers on Friday and I screenshot this conversation to Nancy Joe because I had typed it up for my team to see it because they know how Drew is. And so and I said, his response now to me is, well, are you in the top 5? Oh. And I was like, are you kidding me? So I texted to Nancy Joe and she called me and she was like giving me the rundown of where I was. And, yes, Cora, he's a brat. And he and he could hear me talking to you. I was outside on the porch and he could hear me. And so he was mumbling like under his breath or whatever. Yeah, why did you get in the top 5? And I'm like, Drew, it's the last day of the month. Like I can't pull shows out of my butt on the last day of the month. But I do have a lot of my orders come in on Friday and Saturday. So we'll see. And I been running a bunch of parties in Japan right now. So I wake up in the morning with like all these orders that have been placed at 3, 4, 5 a.m. because it's 12 hours difference for me or 13 or 11, whatever the thing is. And so when I woke up Saturday, Nancy Joe, I text you and I said, I broke 18. And then there was one more update that came through Saturday afternoon because it was one of those Japan orders that I kind of forgot about. And I hit 18, what did I write down? 18,130. So I'm waiting to see where I land, if I'm in the top 10, if I'm in the top 5, if I'm still number 7. We'll wait and see how all that flushes out. But
As
part of
this
this
moment, you're number 7.
number
As of your
7, I'll
moment,
take
you're
it.
number 7. Roxanne was number 5, but you're number
Nice.
7, which is amazing.
Yes, that's Jim's lucky number. So we'll say number 7 is good. So,
I'd say so.
yes. So it all comes down to a lot of the things. I will echo exactly what Roxanne was saying on her training. Host coaching, host coaching, host coaching. So those of you who've been around for all the years like I have, when you do your host coaching, you earn your paycheck. When you go to the party, you pick it up. So my host coaching, I shared with you guys in the chat. I had it previously in Evernote because like Roxanne, every morning I would literally lay in bed, copy, paste, copy, paste, copy, paste. I run individual parties. I run 4 to 6 a week. And I may have a launch in there plus or minus as well. And then I, copy, paste, copy, paste. So the joke is I do my best work in bed because the kids will say, you're still in bed. And I'm like, dude, I've been working for like 4 hours. Not really, but whatever. So I've been doing my copying and pasting. So my host coaching, depending on how close out they are, I do offer them the business opportunity 2 weeks out. And then on the 1 week out message, I offer them, I kind of offer it to them again. And then I give them the rundown. So my rundown, so like this weekend, like yesterday, I'm doing the parties that are starting on the 8th. So my rundown is on the Saturday, Sunday before, depending on what else I've got going on, I send them a message and I say, here's the rundown. And I guess I could copy. You guys can look at this, the words later. And I have them post a picture on their wall with the fact that I'm having a party. And I tell them, look, we're starting the invites on Wednesday. Okay, so Wednesday is my invite day. And I, like Patty says, I control that. So step 1 is they are given the party group link. They are not added. I am the only person in that group with my business page. They are given the link and they are given the task to message 40 people. Just like when we were given a pack of 40 paper invitations, they are meant to message 40 people. If they're excited and do more, do more. But about 25%, like Nancy Jo says, will accept the group link. And when they have sent that message out because there are people who click it immediately. Okay. So if they say I have, and I have no pending request for that group, they have not. Okay. And so I'll say, are you sure you sent the link in the message? Like, I just want to make sure you copied my message. And they're like, oh, yeah, I got to do a few more. Yeah, that's what I thought. So I have them do that. And then I will, like, say if I send it in the morning and I tell them, look, our days are never the same. Jim and I have been married. We've almost 20 years and our days have never been normal 9 to 5ers. Okay. So every day is different. Like when Drew was swimming last year, I was at the pool at 5 a.m. with him. So I would do my host coaching at 5 a.m. because I'm going to sit in the car anyway. So I tell them, like, at the very get-go, I will send messages as I have time so that you can read them as you have time. So they'll say, like, if I send it in the morning and they say, well, I'll read this after work. And I say, no problem. Like I said above, I'm sending it because I have time right now. You can read it when you have time. So I'm giving them all day to invite. A lot of the invites don't happen to at night, which is fine. But on Wednesday nights, I have my look and learn with my team. So all that can be going on in the background while I'm doing my look and learn. And then I'll pop on like after that's over at 8:30, 9 o'clock and check on, and I'll prove everybody. I'll prove the pending ones and I'll do a right post welcome message. Usually, if there's, because I'll know, like there's usually anywhere from like 8 to 15 pending. That's when I know they've sent 40 messages. Okay. So then when they send that, I'll just say, great. I'll send you step 2 tomorrow. Okay. Step 2 is when I allow them to use the invite button. And then I send them a little picture on how to use the invite button and I allow them to go wild. And I tell them, and this is stuff that I have copied and pasted and tweaked from Steve, from Sharon, from Ellington, from my mastermind group with Bobby and Linda and Kayla and Debbie, Laura, all of them. Like this is stuff that I have just pulled. None of this is original material. All of this is made up from you guys. I just take the wheel and paint it my own color. I do not recreate it. So I send the step 2 is the invite using the invite button. And then step 3 will be to just post on their wall, usually Friday afternoon, Friday evening. Now, some people get behind. That's totally normal. And they don't start doing step 1 until Thursday. But I've built in that buffer because if they have to use the invite button on Friday and post to their wall on Friday, it's 2 totally separate things. So it's okay. All right. And I'll tell them, if they say, well, I didn't have time yet, then I'll say, well, we'll play catch up. So just be prepared because your inbox, I'm going to, I got to keep you on track or whatever. So usually they're pretty open-minded about that. And Saturday and Sunday, I do 2 days of pre-party. All of that is engagement posts. It's all goofy, silly, what's your favorite pizza topping? If your husband says no more Pampered Chef, what's the gift face you make? Like all that kind of stuff. And then on like the very last post on Sunday night is here's the new product video. What are you most excited about? Our party starts tomorrow. So I post twice every 2 hours. So I have 8:05, 10:05 on through till 8 p.m. The next party starts at 8:10. The next party starts at 8:20. The next party starts at 8:30, so on and so forth. So depending on how many parties I'm running, I could have posts on the 0, the 10, the 20, the 30, the 40, the 50, and then the 5s in between because I do 2 posts. And then on Monday it starts, I do like a loose theme. So like Monday right now it's electric. It's all the things with plugs. And then Tuesday is the pantry. Wednesday is, I don't even remember. Friday is favorites. I know that because it's an alliteration. But I changed those up. So like what I was doing in February, I may have taken one of the days in February and moved it over to March, April, May. But guys, seriously, I'm running the same outline, March, April, May. There is no reason for me to change that until the new products come out in June. And then I might change up and do like thrill of the grill or keep it cool. And, yes, we're coming out with one cool and serve item, but I haven't really been promoting the other cool and serve items right now. So I will change it up like leading into maybe the end of May and then into June there. But I do not like, I saw a post this weekend where somebody said, my host wants pink and purple with zebra stripes and wants a horse theme. And I'm like, are you crazy? Like, why would you, if you had a brick and mortar business, you would not let somebody come in and say, I think you should carry this or do this. You own your business. So I take control. And if they say, I do have one post at the very end on Fridays for it. Was there anything we missed covering this week that you would like to know more about? Then I'll like maybe throw a random post up there. Okay. But I do cover a wide range. I've tried to go to 1 pre-party day. I've tried to go to 3 product recipes days. I don't like it. Okay. So that is what works for me. And like I have, like I said, I share with you, if it's not broke, then I'm not going to try to fix it yet. Like if I was having no sales, no interactions, not even qualifying parties, I would change something. But right now I feel like my host coaching is on point. I feel like my outline, like you could post like about rainbows and unicorns and they would still buy food choppers. Okay. Cause they're looking at stuff. So some of the things I do in the party is I do a welcome post. I shorten it when I do my text replacement well post. And in there, it does say message me for the catalog link. I'll put that right here because I can do that quick with a text replacement. And I use that shortcut key thing that we learned about how to get them right into your inbox. So that it also gives them a call to action. So my picture that I attach with that has something goofy in it. What's your favorite pizza topping? What's something in your fridge nobody else has? What's your favorite type of meal to whip up? I don't know. What's something that you wouldn't eat as a kid? So that's what I do in my welcome post. I do have a welcome video, and in there, the call to action in that welcome video does say, message me the last product you used or your favorite product. So I will have people that will say, well, I don't own anything. And I'll say, oh, I love virgins. Or, they'll say my food chopper is my favorite. So then I write back this also on text replacement. And that's just how I get them to message me. Could you list? Yeah, I can show you real quick too. I can screen share and show you. So I actually put together a spreadsheet so that it has like all the little boxes printed out. So as I made what I decided what I wanted to do on each day, like I kind of didn't know what the theme was going to be called until I kind of decided what products to put on each day. Then I kind of came up with a theme, like, you write the book, then make the title. So I don't even think I have it still sitting on here on my desk. I think I threw it away because everything's in SendShare now. So I use, Sue, you're so funny. So I'll screen share with you and show you, this is how I figured out what to do on my, okay, I am sharing. Am I sharing?
Yep. You're sharing.
Okay. All right, so let me go over here I put it in a Google Sheet so that my team could access it. And it has a blank one, and it has then what I decided I want it to look like. So here's just my blank one. I'll copy and paste this link too once it loads. And then I printed it myself, right? Because when you share a send share folder, the times don't move over, but the content moves over. So then they were like, well, what time do you post this? What time do you post that? What 2 posts do you put together? So they weren't understanding necessarily all the time. Like I know one time I asked Charisse to share with me, and she's like, they just go across, like all these 3 go one time, these 3 go. And I'm like, that makes sense. So what I did is I made this, and I showed them, like, here's what I'm posting. Like, here's my Saturday and Sunday. And I don't have this freeze panes, but Saturday, Sunday is my fun and games. Monday through Friday is my my theme. So it's electric, pampered pantry, meet the cast, fresh, and faves. So that's just kind of what my themes are. I made a cute little picture in Canva, and then I just twice, you can see every 2 posts. Now each post may have multiple pictures in it. So like say for, I don't know, Rock Croc, it may have like 6 Rock Croc pictures because I put them all in
already
Canva.
released by then.
What? Oh, sorry, that's somebody's not on mute. Okay, so like in Canva, and what I did for my team is I like to kind of organize things in Canva, kind of like you would in folders on your hard drive. So for my team, I took my Canva and let me just move you guys over just a little bit. And there's my themes.
Oh, it's
So I just made one and then duplicated it, like by using that little duplicate button, and then change the colors and insert a new picture. So they all look the same. So when you scan my party, you're going to see, oh yeah, there's her 5 theme days or whatever. And then I was playing around with what they were last time. And, I have them all in there from my past themes. Like I said, I don't change themes that often. I'm changing them 4 times a year: fall products, holiday, winter, spring, summer. So you got 5 different sections of themes with some, I had to take the rapid mandolin out. I had to take the guacamole out one day, and then the next week I could add it back in. So, it just kind of depends. I did the same thing with the leak-proof containers. I had them on it's fresh day, and I had to take them out. But the thing is, though, the content is not, you've got to do the host coaching. So if you're in, Roxanne said, we're all moving over to boards just because it is super easy. And if you're not in this group yet, let me go back to that. Let me make sure that you join this group and answer the 3 required questions so that Christina Bailey and I can approve you. Really easy. There's 3 required questions, and you have to agree to be nice. But you're going to go and grab the announcements. And Christina Bailey has organized all of our boards that people have been sharing. In here, I did a 1-hour training on Saturday with Michelle Anderson's team that is up here that you can watch. But all of my host coaching is in boards now. So boards is like a keyboard. So everything that I previously had over here in Evernote, I just moved to boards. Now I can still come over to my Evernote, so I'm not going to delete this. So anybody that still copies and pastes from here, you can still copy and paste from here. But I just kind of move this stuff over to boards to make it easier for myself. Like today I had physical therapy with my son, as Patty messaged me and said, can you be on today? And I'm in the middle of my host coaching right there from my boards. I used to just open Evernote and copy and paste. But then I was scrolling my camera roll forever looking for the picture that I needed to insert. And this just makes it easier. But I do, by the way my mind works, is I break everything down by day. Day 1 is not like Monday or Sunday, whatever your first day of the week is. It's the day 1 that I start doing stuff. So that's why this is a Wednesday start for me, because that's my party creation day. I have found that giving them 2 to 3 days, 3 invite ways in 3 days has been the sweet spot. And then that gives me a buffer in there too. And then I host coach them always ends with a question at the very end. That was one thing I recently added. So say, for example, let's see, I think it's this one. Would be what I sent yesterday. So it says, let me know when you have read the above, posted the pic in your party. I know it's a lot. This is because this is the pre-day day. So they've gotten a lot of information from me the first 5 days. Everything else from going forward is a little bit lighter because it's just the post a day. But it always says, do you have any questions? So like, let's see. I know it's this one. Especially on the day that they're supposed to be doing the inviting. Please shoot me a quick message as soon as you watched my video and completed the invite step. Tell me approximately how many people you invited. I can check that. I know how many are invited, but I say, why don't you tell me how many you think you invited? Because I love it when they say, oh, I invited a lot. And I go over there, it's like 17. So, these are some videos that I made a while ago. I had a good hair and makeup day and I just changed my shirt and I made 3 different videos, how to invite using your Frank's list, make sure that you post in the party. And then I have like a party wrap up video, just 3 videos I made with my tripod and changed my shirt. So, because before I was uploading them to them and that way I could pick on my camera roll. Was it the blue shirt, the purple shirt, or the pink shirt? But now I just moved them to YouTube and I just send the link so that they can watch it. So, but I don't know. Consistency is key. None of this stuff I'm telling you guys is new. Consistency is key. You've got to do your host coaching. You got to make it work for you.
How did you get the bookings to start with? What did you do to get so many bookings on your calendar? So people are struggling right now with bookings, Tiffany. So
yeah,
I realize.
So what really
if
helped
they only
me
have 2 shows on their calendar, what can they do to change that?
Okay, so what I think really helped me in early March is I made a poll, and I shared this in the Director Success group. I made a poll in my customer group that said, if you could get one of these at 60% off, which would you pick? Okay, so I had a bunch of in my VFA group, they voted on which one they wanted, and I'm a control nerd freak, so I changed it so they could only vote on one. There's an option when you're in the poll settings, you can make it so they can only vote on one, and then they can't add anything either. So I made sure to unclick both those boxes, and I'll look for it while I talk so I can show you guys. So I asked them to vote. Then I strategically messaged every single person that voted, regardless of what they voted on, and said, thank you so much for voting on my poll. I was doing that as a way to train my team because they know I'm a director. You could totally lie. They don't need to know that you are not a leader because you are. And then I said, did you know you could get that night block set for $178 in March when you have a $200, a qualifying party? So that's how I got some of those bookings. And it's funny because 3 of them ghosted me and canceled on me after I got those bookings. So I got a few bookings from that really helped propel my April because they booked, that poll was posted in March because April was 60% off any one thing. I also did the same thing for stones and said, which stone did you want to get at 60%? Which stone would you pick at 60% off? And the overwhelming choice was the starter set, followed by the glazed set, which I was completely floored on. I'm still scrolling in my team page. I'll share it on my group. So as soon as I see it, I will share with you guys. Okay, here's the stone one. All right, let me share again. The other, I actually wrote it down so I could tell my mastermind group. The other ones all came from 3-way messages. So here's a poll. I can add an option, but they can't. And they can only vote on one. So then when I go over to these 19 people, I can click the 3 little dots, the 4th little circle that has dots, and I can message all of these people.
Do you message them individually or all
I did.
one?
I messaged each of them individually. Sat there one night while we were whatever and messaged each person. So, and I made sure to put the price. I didn't say 60% off. If you notice right here, it says, I'm looking for some feedback. If you can get 1 stone at a huge discount, what would you be? I didn't say who would host a party with me. I hate that post. Who wants to have a party with me? Because you're going to have crickets. So I put who would want it at a huge discount. So I went in there and I messaged each one of those people. Same thing with the 60% off special, the March going into April. And this is April going into May. And you notice it says April 13th. So it was halfway in. So I went in there and I started messaging those people and asking and just like I said, thank you so much for your feedback. Did you know you could get that stoneware starter set at $42 when you host a qualifying show in May? My next open dates are May 8th or May 15th. Which one works better for you? All right. Just like everyone else has said, you've got to have a date. A hairdresser or a dentist would never let you pick whatever date you want. They would not open their calendar and say, pick whatever time you want to come in. All right. So that's why I say, here are my next 2 dates. All my party dates start on Saturdays. So I have all my Saturdays memorized, probably for now through July, because I know which ones I'm constantly referring to book. And that really perpetuated me. Also with the step 7, which is my 3-way host challenge. This is somebody else's graphic that I grabbed and put in here so that my team could see it. So I start here. Additionally, we have a behind the scenes task. In Facebook Messenger, we're going to start a 3-way message with each person. There are some. So like about once a week, I have a tech inept host that doesn't necessarily know how to do a 3-way. So sometimes we have to do a little side message bar about that. Here's the message. I want them to copy and paste first. Then I have some other, like if it's a launch party or something, I can go down there. And then I copy and paste this with my 2 dates and I wait till they reply, or I let my host go in and post it first. Then I go in and reply. And then I do have some, like if they say no, I have 2 options. I either offer them a fundraiser or I ask them why. They said no, because sometimes they just want further out. If they don't answer me at all, like this morning, I was doing some circle backs because I'm doing Ellington's closing day booking message. Today's the day we close on some of my parties I didn't finish last night. So I needed to do those that we already did the 3-way message with. I will send this that haven't responded. And then the other ones that maybe my host didn't initially pick them, but they did place an order. I will do the 3-way and I'll stop sharing. I'll put that. That is the closing day booking message.
I want to confirm that when they don't send you any answer, it's a follow-up message.
Yes, I just call it a circle back, a follow-up, a circle back.
F/U message.
Yes, a follow-up. Yes, it's a follow-up, circle back. Yes. I have abbreviated that and I forgot that was in there somewhere. Yes. So I'm looking at some of these rules. The Evernote, Tara, is up. I already posted it above in the chat. If they do not have a VIP group, they cannot do a poll. It is not possible on a personal page or a public page. Ghosting, yes, Roxanne, because I messaged them before and send them the host packet, make sure they're so excited. Yes, I've had people still ghost me after I've had them say, yes, I'm excited. Yes, we're doing this. I send them step 1. And I've had this one girl, she was like, can't you just add me to the group? And I can use the invite button. I was like, no, actually, this has proven to be much better. We're going to do step number 1 first. That comes next. That's step number 2. And she ghosted me. Never responded to anything else again. Never sent the link out. I never had any requests to join the group. So I know she didn't send it out. So she got a big fat G on my piece of paper here because I was trying to track how many I had per week, and the C means they canceled. So like something came up and I might have moved them further down, but it happens. And then if you do the booking whirlpool, like Stacy Itzel talks about, so you have 4, 1 flops, 1 signs, you've got these 2 other parties. So from these parties, you're trying to get at least 3 more bookings. So they fill in like the next round, and then you're constantly filling in the next weeks. Okay. So like this weekend I looked and I was like, man, I have a gap. And so I went in there and I kind of like messaged some people and say, hey, did you want to move up? Or did you, especially when the air fryer came back, I had a lady come to me before I even could come to her and say, can I get back? Can I push my party to May instead of June? Because you said June. And originally I said I did. And it is back in May. So she moved up. So always be asking your host if you get a cancellation and you know that early enough on. I had a lady this week who completely ghosted me, and she came to me Friday night and said, can we still do my party? And I said, I don't think it would be wise. I think we should wait a week so that you have the 3 days to do the 3 ways of inviting, because I know how busy you are. And she was completely thankful and said, all right, we'll start again next week. Cool. That works for both of us.
And Tiffany, I did want to point out, what was your party average last month with your 18,000?
I know I looked it up. Let me look. Hold on. Cause I looked up just for the year. My year is 1108. Cause everything kind of has to like flush out across, but it's 1100. I've been saying 1100.
1100. You guys, I hope you're listening to every word she's saying.
And I
1100.
I was telling Nancy Joe, I had this new director on my team, and he's like, he didn't meet director numbers. He met him to promote, and then he didn't meet them this month. And he said, I really focused on my new team and not myself. And I said, you've got to put your oxygen mask on first. You've got to worry about your personal business, right? You guys have heard this. And he said, he goes, well, I'm going to message everybody in the 2 parties I have right now. I said, are you using the 3-way host challenge early enough in your party? And he said, yes. I said, what words are you using? And he sent me the words. And I said, have you tried using my words? Not that mine are good. Mine actually came from Bobby Como, because she's our wordsmith. And so, because I'm sometimes too blunt and people think I'm mean. So I let her put some flowers and unicorns in it. And that's my 3-way party message. And he goes, I said, have you tried using mine? And he goes, no, but I guess I can. I said, let's make a are you up for a challenge? And he says, yes. I said, will you use my host coaching from beginning to end all the way through on your parties? And he says, well, I only have 2. I said, okay. Your goal, you told me your goal is 4. So between now and Sunday afternoon, I want you to get 2 more, because Sunday afternoon is the day you want them to post. I'm having a party later this coming week. So he messaged me within a day and said, I got 2 more and I'm working on 2 additional more. And I said, can we virtually shake on it? Now the guy lives a mile down the road from me, but he said, yes, I will do everything. And he jokingly said, do you have a board on that? And I knew he was trying to be silly, because that's Marna Ross. Do you have an Evernote on that? And I said, yes, I have an Evernote. And I was like, it's been in the Evernote for over a year, but yes, I just moved it to all boards. And I sent the board link to him. And then he said, this makes it stupid easy. And I said, it does. I mean, before I was giving you the copy and paste words, now it's on your keyboard. You don't even have to open an Evernote or a Google Doc or a Word doc or whatever else, your notes on your phone. You just stay right there in your chat. You guys can go watch that training separately. And it's like so stupid easy. So I did 5 posts this morning sitting in the parking lot. It took me 5 minutes to do 5. And I send multiple messages. So once you guys get into my boards, it says HC by TMF, which is host coaching by Tiffany Foreman. It's in there. So you'll need to edit it. So there is a whole tutorial on how to take somebody else's board and copy it, make it your own. You can make your edits in it, because you guys may not sound like me. I say y'all may not say y'all. So you may say you guys. So I don't, there are things in there that you'll want to tweak. So if you want to use mine verbatim, make sure you read, because there are some, like the letter X throughout, because it means I fill in the blank. So like when I say your group is already up to X number of people and you already have X amount of sales, I have to go and look at how many party people they have, what their sales are, and you've already earned a host kit credit of X. I have to fill in, is it 25 or 50? Or you're this close to earning that. Because in there is also the ask your host in the 5 or 6 ways, which I learned from all of you guys, that I just took the wheel and painted it my own color with my Sharpies.
Nice. So Tiffany, there's also Denise Garza asked, have you tried doing host coaching and project broadcast before?
Okay, my one drawback.
Easier.
Okay, so here's the difference. My mastermind group was all about, let's move it all to project broadcast. And I was like, because if they don't do step 1 on Monday or Wednesday, I do not want them getting step 2 on Tuesday until they do step 1. That is my controlness. Okay, so if you empathize with my control factor, you may not want to do that. But people who like, if you're someone who forgets to do steps, or you're like, oh, I don't have to do that step, you could definitely use Project Broadcast. Then it goes automatically. You do have to pay for Project Broadcast. I am paying for it. I'm using it mostly for customer care, so that I can message everybody once their order comes in and say, has everything come in? Is everything good? And then follow up the booking that way. But right now with boards is free. And as they have indicated to Patty and I, there will always be a free app of it right now. And you can put as much stuff as you want into boards, and they don't care. The volume of it doesn't care. Like Evernote kind of resets every month, like your phone does with your data plan. Evernote, if you've got a lot of things that have pictures and videos and things in there, it like will say, oh, you're full. Boards has no full. So that's why I moved all of my, the only thing that we figured out we can't do with boards yet is upload an actual video. So what I did is I've just used the links for the video. So Patty and I have been working with Christina Bailey and Christina Wiggins on moving all of marketing imagery over to boards. So like if, like say there's the video on Quick Cooker 101, that will be in the boards. So if your host goes, I want to know more about the Quick Cooker. I saw your one video, but do you have anything else? You can say, yeah, here's another video. And you send them the link and it's the public link that comes from marketing imagery and they can just watch it. So you don't have to sign into Consultants Corner, find that video, copy the link, send it to her or whatever. And then I also I have a bunch of stuff in YouTube too. Somebody recently asked me how to use the pineapple wedger. So I would always go to YouTube, search myself, Tiffany Foreman pineapple, find the link, copy and paste it. Now I put all my YouTube links in one folder in boards. And so I can go, oh, pineapple, there it is. Oh, can opener, there it is. Oh, chicken cut and close and cut, there it is. So I have my little library of links right there, as opposed to, yes, yeah, they're over in YouTube, but I don't have a master list of all my YouTube links.
Right.
Gotcha.
But it's totally up to you. I have also trying to decide, do I want to use Project Broadcast for new consultant onboarding? That way it goes automatically every day. Or do I want to do it in boards and then paste it into a Facebook message? So it kind of depends on the person. Right now I have it going through text to this one new consultant to test it out with her, but she's like, I can't, she hasn't been as active with replying back to me as she is on Facebook Messenger. So she probably would have been a better one for me to do it on boards with her through Facebook Messenger.
So can you ask them that question when they start up? Can you say,
yeah, I'm going to change that.
Better
I'm going to say, do you want text or do you want Facebook message?
Right. I think that's a great idea.
Yeah.
Awesome. That's awesome.
Because I wanted to schedule things like day 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then I wanted things to go like day 28, day 35, day 45, day 88, like that kind of stuff. So right now I have it in boards labeled as that, like day 21. I just have to now remember to send it to them on day 21. Whereas Project Broadcast would automatically send it to them on day 21.
Okay. So we probably could use both things for different.
Yes.
uses,
Like,
right?
I mean, I'm going to stay subscribed to Project Broadcast because I can text 300 people at one time and say, did your orders come in? I mean, I put a post in my party. That is one of my steps in host coaching it's in my host coaching it's like step 13, actually, that once I get the email that the host order has shipped, I know everybody else's has too. So I'll go in and go into the Facebook group and go ahead and schedule that for like 2 days later, because I know like by the time she's got to have her link refresh and blah, blah, blah. So I'll just say I have I pick one of the little gifts that are already on Facebook with the little stick figure opening the box and say, hey, did you guys get your stuff? I know Patty and I would love to see what you got. And if you're already using it. Oh, and by the way, did you know you could get, blah, 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 60% off next month. It's not too late to book your own show. Send.
Awesome.
Could you use boards and Project Broadcast in conjunction with each other? I guess because you're using a keyboard, I have been using Project Broadcast more on my computer because the screen is bigger. Okay. Whereas I could, I respond to people on Project Broadcast through my phone, but I don't always schedule stuff and set things up that way. But if you did use that on your mobile device, you could use your keyboard to paste the stuff in there or whatever you're doing. Absolutely. I think the two would work. I haven't tried it yet, Christina. That might be a challenge for me to try that later.
Challenge?
Yeah, it's challenge.
I hear challenge.
And Sherry said something about you could put a reminder, you can text yourself in Project Broadcast. There you go. So if you're doing it manually, text yourself day 21, send Sherry day 21 message. There you go.
Hey. And that's why great minds think alike.
And I don't use Google Calendar. Y'all will probably think, oh, Tiffany would love Google Calendar. I use Cozy, which is a calendar that my family has we've been using it for years, like a decade. And because Jim is hardly ever around. So literally he's been only home since July. And the other day I had an appointment and he's like, him and I were leaving at the same time. I'm like, where are you going? He's like, well, where are you going? I'm like, it was in Cozy. So he's like, I got to get better about checking that. But I write my stuff down on this because when I'm sitting at my desk, I want to be able to open this. And I took some of the tasks and I broke down my weekly team tasks things that, like, as a leader, I want to make sure that I check out the home office. I want to check the director success group for any updates. I want to make sure I attend the weekly, the nationwide leader call. I want to make sure I post a reminder for my team that payday is coming on the 7th. I want to make sure, so there are things that I do here. So now that host coaching is so automated and so fast, this is actually gotten faster as well for me.
So
And I left it
pre-printed.
I printed it. I'm a nerd, Nancy Jo. I made it myself.
But what I'm saying is those
are pre-printed. Yes, I'll share that too. So I've been making my own calendar for a couple of years, and I realized I like a Monday start on a calendar, and you cannot like find one in the store or online, because I like to touch them and smell them and all that kind of stuff first. That it was meeting my needs on what I wanted it to be. So I went ahead and took other people's ideas that people say, well, I have this in a calendar. I have this in a calendar. I have a chart for this. I have a chart for that. And I just made it so that I do have a month at a glance. I actually was just texting Tammy Hunter about it because she wants me to do something. But like I do have, and I color code with all my Sharpies. But then when I open it right to the back, that's all the other stuff that I have my party schedule. It still needs to be filled in, whatever month that is. And then I keep track of my personal goals. I keep track of who's my Green by 15 people, who met the sales promotion. Yes, I can run a report on this, but sometimes I like to write it down. So then I can then post on my team page, congratulations, you earned the towels.
There you go. There you go. And I know for me, as automated as I am, I still like to have the written calendar because I can look at a glance.
Yes.
I like a week at a glance. That's my thing, because I got to see where I have open spots. And so that works best for me, but your calendar is a personal thing.
Definitely.
And if you can do it all electronically, that's awesome. But I have lost some things for no reason at all. So I've gone back to paper the last 2 years.
And I've talked to some other leaders. Like I remember when we sat national conference, like in summer of 19, somebody was looking at mine and was like, oh, you need to add this for next year. So I had like a note section at the end, add this for 2020. So that and then I rearranged it because I was still doing, I was dabbling in virtual parties, but I had gone virtual, I guess 3 months, 100% virtual 3 months before COVID, just because of my kids' schedule was crazy. So I already knew I needed more boxes for the number of shows per week, because, yes, 2 would make, 8 will make you great, 2 a week and you'll get everything. That was working fine for me in my cooking show life. But in my virtual life, I want more because I can do more. It's because everything is so automated. I mean, it's the same amount of work to do 1 party as it is to do 5 and 6.
Well, and you just said it, 4 will give you more. I mean, it just will. 8 will make you great, but 4 will give you more.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's why I added more boxes, but that was somebody said that was using my calendar, like, you need more boxes. And I'm like, you're right. I do need more boxes. I'm limiting myself. I need to think bigger. So
limiting Tiffany Foreman. And Tiffany, is your goal for May in top 5?
Oh gosh, I need to know what these other people are doing, like sandbagging to the last day. Back in the day when we could sandbag, like literally submit at midnight. But I mean, I'm still going to I'm really enjoying the paycheck. This is the first time my paycheck has been $5,000 on just my personal commission, not like my overrides and stuff. So I have a kid that's getting ready to drive, and we were making some improvements to the little car that we'll allow him to use. And, that's another thing Nancy Jo and I talked about, like, you don't know what you're going to do with that amount of money. And I recently saw a friend of mine who's a real estate agent. She says, what is your freedom number? What is the number that would make you quit the grind? And so many people commented on their 6,000, 7,000, 6,000, 7,000, like over and over again. And I'm like, I'm there.
You're there. So what's your next number, Tiffany?
I would like a $10,000 paycheck consistently. That's for sure.
Okay. I know there's some people on this call that have had $10,000 paychecks. What did it feel like? Put it in the chat.
I mean, I hit 9 last May, like you were saying how big everybody's May was, because that was and at that point, I hit a personal goal of 13 something in sales myself, and my team did 112. So my overrides, and I think I promoted a second gen director, and I hit senior. So yes, when all that flushed out, that paycheck jumped from like 6,000 to 9,000, like as all that stuff flushed out. And I was like, wow. And I just kept thinking like, stash it away, squirrel it away, hide it. Don't spend it. So I'm if you guys think I talked a lot today, just get me on the band, like get me on a rant on budgeting and saving. Nancy Jo and I have talked hours about that stuff. And I'm super conservative when it comes to that. We are a cash only family. So, when this money is hitting, I'm squirreling it away.
And when you do that, there's such freedom in knowing no matter what happens in the future, like for me, Rich and I were both individual employee, we were both self-employed. So if one of us went down, could we still live the life we had? That was our mantra at the very beginning.
And part of this in January, we found out January 5th that Drew had a tumor. We went to just a regular sports medicine doctor for some pain, and we found out that he, through an x-ray, had a tumor, and we did not know, we could not tell on the x-ray how big it was until we went for the MRI the next day, and we found out it was this big, if you guys can see my hands, growing on both sides of his scapula, which is his shoulder. And he is a swimmer, and he's 16 years old. And my first thought was, oh my God, how much is this going to cost me? Not besides like, is my son okay? So I immediately called my financial advisor, because we had been doing other things like, life insurance and refinancing and other things. And I thought, Gail, her name is Gail. I was like, I was so ready to like make some changes in our budget. I was like, but I'm not going to transfer you any money right now, because what if we, what if our insurance doesn't cover the things that he needs? We had to go to a specialist in DC, and he had to have 2/3 of his scapula removed. They don't put anything else in there. His muscles are just floating in there. The kid has to do PT twice a week and PT at home for the other 5 days a week. We didn't know if he was going to have chemo or radiation, what that would cost us. You never know. And that's why we have never lived paycheck to paycheck like that. And, my goal used to be, when I quit my day job, it's been 10 years in June, I quit my day job. And when I quit it, Jim and I sat down, I said, you know what, if I can make $2,000 a month, that will be worth it to me. We can keep everything else the same. And now that I'm making, averaging last year was 5,600. And then this year it's well over 6 as my average. It's still, we don't change our style of living, because, what if that happened to Drew, and like, he was going to be incapacitated for the rest of his life? We had no idea. So, the kid's like still only 8 weeks post-op. So we still don't know what that's going to hold in the future. And like I was telling Nancy Jo, thank goodness we have good insurance through my husband's job that is covering, we've only had to pay out of pocket $1,000 right now.
Wow.
But I'm still waiting. Like, I'm like, when, anytime you've ever had a baby, you get like one bill, and then you get another bill, and then you get, because you got like the anesthesiologist, this doctor, and I'm just waiting. I'm like, where are the other bills?
Mm-hmm.
So I've got to save. So like, has my virtual business helped with that? Absolutely. I was doing virtual parties sitting, because we had to go to DC multiple times. We live in Virginia Beach. It's 3.5, 4 hours away. So we had to pay for hotel rooms. We had to pay for food while we were there. We had to pay, for the gas to get up there and back. There was a lot of other expenses besides his medical expenses that I was like, oh my gosh, how much is this going to cost me?
Right. And the thing that is so beautiful about our business, Tiffany, compared to, you mentioned a day job that you quit 10 years ago. In your day job, you can't just double your hours to make double the paycheck.
Right.
But
No.
Here you can you can double your paycheck by doubling your efforts. You can.
Like when they
do
told
that
me
here.
you're going to get an MRI tomorrow, and I was like, tomorrow's like Wednesday. Like, I have other stuff to do. They're like, you're going tomorrow. We are sending him to the CHKD, which is our children's specialist here, tomorrow. If I had a day job, I would have had to call my boss and say, he probably would have been okay, but like, so I can't come in tomorrow because blah, 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 blah. And we always had meetings the first Wednesday of every month. So that would have been Wednesday. And so like, thank goodness I can make my own schedule. And I jokingly tell people I nap every day, which I've been 5 whole days without a nap, guys. And I was telling my batter bowl buddy that this morning. She's like, are you okay? But I work in the morning doing my host coaching, and in the afternoon I can play I can take a nap. I can read a book. I can help the kids with algebra and geometry and all that stuff. And then I like Mondays and Wednesday nights, I do calls with my team and my leadership group. And then, so I tell them like Tuesdays and Thursdays are like my Saturday and Sunday. So I went and got a pedicure. I went and, had my eyebrows done. I went and did this and that on a Thursday. And then on Saturday, yes. Do I do more host coaching on Saturday? Yes. But our lifestyle allows that. So right now, my kids don't play sports on Saturday. They play them all during the week between practices and games. So we've made that switch. So it's okay for me to work for 4 hours on a Saturday, getting all my party set up, answering all the questions, doing the host coaching, wrapping up last week, starting this week's. But it's allowed me to do that. But you have to look at your schedule.
Yeah, you're still living the life you dreamed about.
Yes.
All right. And no one else is controlling it, but yet you're getting everything done. And that you guys is the key to consistent behavior. You can do anything in the business. You just have to do it. You can do anything outside the business. You just have to remember to do your business if you want the paycheck. And
absolutely,
it's really
flexible, not optional.
That's right. And it really is. I've seen people get into situations financially where they need to do something extreme. They could have never done that with another job. And in 1 month's time, they flip their whole business. And it's a beautiful thing. And it's not about you have to go back to school and get a master's degree. It's not about you have to wait for somebody to retire. All that stuff that I say over and over, it's all up to us individually, what we are going to do and what we want to do for our future. And it really is an amazing opportunity, you guys. And now we have some really cool things. Next week, I would love for you guys to bring what you're doing with the kits, the new kits that we've got, and talk about how you're offering it, who you're reaching out to, all that different kind of stuff. I'm loving this grill griddle. I mean, I thought for sure I would not have one more thing on my counter because it's like I'm trying to do the opposite. I can't put this thing away. I mean, I just keep using it. And it's so fun, it's so fun and so easy. And if you haven't done, Sam's Club has these filet mignon ends that there's 2 to a package. Okay. And they're pretty reasonable. It's like $25, I think. On there, I marinate it with just some seasonings and the olive oil, let it sit in there for a good hour. And then I put both pieces on the grill griddle. Now, you're going to laugh at me. I have not gotten my probe to work yet. I don't know what I'm doing wrong. But anyway, 3.5 minutes total and it's done. And a minute and a half in, I turn it once so it's browned all the way around. And the inside is absolutely perfect, you guys. It's absolutely perfect. So I want to encourage you to try the little filet mignon end piece on there and you'll be just amazed at how good it is. Just amazed. And it's perfect on the inside. But I know we're at 12:21, you guys. Tiffany, thank you so much. Roxanne, thank you so much. This was literally, we called them this morning, you guys. You have to give your teammates a huge round of applause for spontaneity. I love that we could just call you. I mean, and sometimes you guys, that's what we need more than anything. It's like right now, what do we need? And what we needed today was information on shows and bookings. And thank you so much to both of you for doing this. And you guys are absolutely the best. And I can't thank you enough. I can't thank you enough from the heart. So thank you, everybody. Make sure you go down to the 3 little dots and save your chat. So you have all that information right at your fingertips. And I want to, again, put a thank you out to the 4 gals that are doing the boards and in there, just working their bottom off on that. That's Patty, Tiffany, Christina, and
another Christina.
That's I was thinking it's 2 Christinas, but I was thinking maybe I was wrong. So Christina, Tiffany, and Patty. Patty had a question and ended up doing She was going, I had a question and now I'm building this.
We
these
sucked her
formats.
in.
We sucked her in.
We need her name.
Yeah, there you go. But thank you so much for all the work you're doing. It's going to make all of our lives easier. And we'll probably, everybody needs to go and join the Facebook group and watch Tiffany's instructional video, right?
And
Yeah,
their
I just
call.
did it on Saturday with Michelle Anderson said, hey, what are you doing Saturday morning? I'm like, I can give you an hour because I have another call. And so we just, I mean, I talked as fast as I did today and we just went through everything I've been using it for. You guys can watch that. And then the board's little, I don't even know what her title, sales industry leader, whatever she's 12. She looks like she's 12. She's going to do a webinar on Wednesday, right after the nationwide leader call. But I don't know if there's going to be much that she's going to be able to share with us that we're not already doing, because Christina Bailey and I just went in there with Christina Wiggins and Patty and just started playing with it. So that's how best I learn, is to try to, like, I guess not try to break it, but like, I'm not scared I'm going to break it, and just play with it and see what the capability was. And you guys that have been putting stuff already in there, amazing, because then I don't have to recreate it. I just copy yours.
Yay! Together, everyone achieves more, right? Team.
Yes. Team
It's
work.
all about team. Yeah. Well, thank you, Patty. Do you want to stop the recording? So we
Yeah,
have
let me go
two
ahead and do
wonderful
that. Yeah.